I'm Howie Scarborough. I'm the CEO of Fall Protection Distributor, and we've recently written a blog about CMP standing seam panels. They produce a full line of standing seam panels, and we supply fall protection equipment that is safe to use on those systems to protect the roof system and to protect the workers. So if you jump into this blog, you'll see we go in depth into the different panels that they offer with specs and pictures. So it's very easy to identify which panel you might have. In each one of these sections, there's a link to the roof anchor compatibility chart. So as you'll see, we're very compatible with all of their panels as long as it's 22 or 24 gauge steel, non-curved panels. The three columns you see here that say we're not compatible, these are all their curved panel systems. So anytime you're working on a curved roof, you need to bring in a safety expert to determine how to do fall protection in that situation. So starting with the SSRA1, this is a seam anchor. It uses non-penetrating set screws. And then there's two different set screws that we offer with the SSRA1. The first one is an all stainless steel cup tip set screw. This is what's intended for 22 gauge steel, and those are going to torque to 90 inch-pounds. If you're on 24 gauge steel, we want to switch over to nylon tip set screws, and those just have a soft nylon bushing in the tip, so it's a softer bite on the panel, but we use more torque. With the nylon tip, we torque 180 to 200 inch-pounds. Now, once we have those, we can start getting into our adapter plates. So if you would mount two SSRA1s approximately 8 feet apart on seams, remove the D-rings, then you can mount SSRA2 roof jack adapters on top of those, and those are seam height adjustable as well as pitch adjustable. And this setup allows 10-foot wooden walkboards to be used, and there's no penetrations through the roof. There's padded side legs that drop down to touch the panel at, and this helps stabilize them when you're up on the walkboards walking around. Now, if you need a temporary 100-foot horizontal lifeline, you can use two SSRA1 anchors and mount an SSRA3 anchor plate on top of those, and that's going to be compatible with 12-inch to 24-inch wide seams. So any seams that the SSRA1s will lock onto, which is about 95% of the standing seams out there, as long as it's between 12 and 24-inch wide seam spacing, the SSRA3 anchor plate should work for you. And you would have one of those assemblies at each end of your rope, and that rope does have a line tensioner. So if you only need 85 feet, you can tighten that line up to whatever distance you need. So that would be a temporary horizontal lifeline. We also offer an industry exclusive permanent lifeline. It's a 120-foot super anchor kit, and that is designed for standing seam roofs. It has seam clamps. It has a base plate, 5-inch riser posts, and 120 feet of galvanized steel cable. So moving on to an alternative product, Ridge Pro is a hook that mounts on the end of a 16-foot pole. You would climb a ladder, use that pole to run it up the roof, flip it over the peak, and you've now secured a vertical lifeline to the peak of the roof with no penetrations. So as soon as you step from the ladder to the roof, you're 100% tied off to your harness. Now you can do your repair, do your inspection, get safely back to the ground. You were tied off the entire time. So it's a very versatile product, fits a lot of different roof types, not just metal. So if you have a question about any of these products or any of these panels, give us a call. Our number's on the website. support@fallpd.com is our email. And this little blue circle in the bottom right corner is our live chat. Just let us know how we can help you.